Golf is one of the most popular sports in the world. Golf was invented in the 14th century in Scotland by local shepherds who put stones into rabbit holes. The game in its modern form was formed in the 19th century, and since then the army of its fans has grown all over the world. Americans, for example, even played golf on the moon. In 1971, astronaut Alan Shepard made the first strike of a golf ball in outer space with a club. According to approximate calculations, the golf ball covered the distance of 200 to 300 meters. In Ukraine, golf is still not very popular, but every year it is gaining more and more fans. Young athletes are growing up who are seriously determined in the future to compete for the championship in the world tournaments. One of them, the hero of our program, Timur Alalin, four-time champion of Ukrainian junior golf. At the age of 13, he already plays in adult tournaments and takes home prizes. Zodiac sign: Virgo. Animal: tiger. Eyes color: chameleon. Favorite color: blue. Favorite season: summer. Timur was born to become an athlete. His grandmother in the past was a handball player for Kiev Spartak, and mother is a tennis coach. It's hard. All athletes are serious and one won't relax much. From the age of 3, his mother took him to a tennis court, and he learned to hold a racket in his hands earlier than some kids held a spoon. In 6 years being with his mother and grandmother in Spain, Timur saw a golf game on TV. When we turned on the TV, there was only golf on the sports channel. We watched sports, and that's how we became familiar with golf. I asked my mom if I could try it out. When we arrived in Kiev, we found information about a golf club near our house, and we went there. His grandmother told him how great this sport is. Well, it really is a wonderful sport. There are great players, everything is white, and it is quite a noble and highly respected form of sport. When I first came to the golf club outside of Kiev, I was surprised. Timur is a hyperactive child, and as a rule, any activity that lasted longer than 15 to 20 minutes bored him. Golf is the game of the patient players. Therefore, it was very hard at first for the boy and his coaches and then his rivals. Timur could train only for 10 to 15 minutes. Then the boys ran, jumped around. When we first went into the field, Timur was somewhere picking mushrooms, and then he was running after birds. Quite often, many said that it was hard to go with Timur and they didn't want to play with him. They asked coaches to change players, as he distracted their attention and he just wanted to talk. It was very difficult for him because he is not just a regular active boy, rather hyperactive. He always wants to chat with someone about something, as he simply needs to communicate. At the same time, Timur had one very important trait for a golfer, namely endurance. For all his restlessness, he was ready to walk for hours. At first, at a child's level, it was 9 holes and 2.5 hours of walking. Now he plays on an 18-hole golf course, and this means already 5 hours of walking over a distance of 10 kilometers. Many children after the first or second hole said to their parents that they were exhausted and didn't want to continue playing. It wasn't interesting. But Timur said he was ready to try this sport. Perhaps this was the key to his success. The main rule of golf is to drive a ball with a club into the hole with the fewest strokes possible. Timur seeks in every game to achieve the highest results. I like to play in the field. The most important thing is to try to hit the ball the least amount of times on 18 holes, and I really like it when I show a good result. The young golfer likes the principle of honesty, which is the basis of the rules of golf. There are a lot of rules, but it doesn't bother Timur. He is sure that he will gradually learn all the rules of the game. There are several rules a player should know. Strike the ball as it lies and play on the course as it is. If neither of them suits you, then do yourself justice. These are the most important and basic rules that any golfer must know and abide by when going out onto the course. Of course, there are different nuances during the game itself, but you have to adjust to them in order to play to the end. Dream in sports, to be the best. Dream in life, to be the best. Happiness, when my family is with me. A golf player can use no more than 14 types of clubs. Timur demonstrates us the main ones that he uses most often. Now I will tell you about the clubs. This is a driver. It is for the farthest strike in golf. They're used for the first strikes from a tee box. This is an iron. Players hit the second or third strike.
Зависимо от пара поля, то есть пара лунки. Вот так вот. Так.
And this is a pater. We roll the latest blow to the hole. In the summer, Timur trains at a golf club in Kharkiv. Winter is no reason for him to hide his golf clubs in a dresser. In winter, he trains in Kiev at a golf simulator, which simulates a real game of golf using real clubs and real balls. Now we're playing on a golf simulator, and I will demonstrate to you a classic shot in golf. When you strike the ball, it goes flying at an amazing velocity of 200 kilometers per hour. At first, golf was like a hobby for Timur. He went to practice driving and putting the balls once a week between his tennis lessons and practice sessions. Later, at one of the training sessions, he met his mother's friends, who suggested that Timur should try playing in a professional tournament. Of course, I did not win immediately starting from the first game. I lost in the beginning, and that was what gave me stimulus to win against one youngster who was 2 years older than me at the time. And from that moment on, I had the drive to play golf and give my best efforts to win all the time. Then Timur Alalin beat not only young players but also became the champion of Ukraine among juniors 4 times and played in tournaments of the Junior International US Kids Golf in Ukraine. At the age of 8, he met the standards and got a chance to play in the European Junior Championships and the World Championships. We went to the European Championship twice, did not win any prizes there. In any case, we saw how children play in the world and how world-class golf tournaments are held. These tournaments gather many players and fans of the sport. These are about 1,000 people from different countries. This is very significant. After that, my son told me that he had a very strong desire to play golf and become one of the competitors among these players. When Timur became the best golf player among peers, he began to try himself in adult tournaments. For the first time, he competed in 2017 at the tournament Mercedes Trophy in Kiev. The 11-year-old player showed the 10th result among 100 participants, but the result was not counted because Timur had not reached the required age of a player to compete in this particular tournament. Next year, Timur took 3rd place at the Ukrainian Cup stage, and for this he received the first adult ranking.
Абсолютно ребенок, но он хочет быть уже взрослым.
He is still just a child, but he wants to become an adult so that everyone would hear out his opinion. This is one of the main questions on the golf course, because he is already quite confident that he might be able to give advice to adult players. You can only imagine the reaction of adult players when a 12-year-old child says to them, "You are not holding the club in the right way, you are not walking the right way, and you are not sitting the right way." Timur incites very strong reactions and emotions in adults because he is very independent. According to Timur's mother, the secret to his skill is that he learned to play tennis at an early age. This gave him a good motor memory, a sense of the ball and physical shape. Now tennis has become a hobby for him. As he devotes one day a week to the sport, Timur decided to become a professional golfer. I do not want any profession, I want to be a golfer. I would like at the very least to play in one tournament in the PGA Tour, the Professional Golf Association. At school, Timur studies in distance learning. All the rest of his time he devotes to training. He works hard for 5 to 6 hours a day. In order to stay in good physical shape, he engages in other forms of sport. Physical training is very necessary so that you can show perfect reactions as an athlete. You must gain a strong physical form to compete at this level. For example, I'm engaged in CrossFit, boxing and swimming. I definitely need such training to perform at the highest level to achieve strength of the arms, but they should be light in movement. That means one should not overburden themselves. Favorite dish: fried potatoes. I can cook. Fried potatoes. Favorite drink: cherry juice. During his free time, Timur loves to cook. He dreams of opening his own restaurant one day in the future. The main dish he will put on the menu for his clients will be his favorite fried potatoes. I like to cook very much. At the same time, I love to eat. My best dish? I love fried potatoes.
Это лучшее мое коронное блюдо. Наверное. Для меня, да.
I can cook a lot of different dishes, including soups, but I love to prepare and enjoy eating fried potatoes.
Я люблю очень жареную картошку.
Тимура есть.
Timur likes to eat. He's very passionate when it comes to eating and will gladly try just about anything. He also has a fondness for culinary art. He simply opens up the internet, looks up some recipes and tries cooking them on his own. The idols of Timur Alalin in golf are Americans Tiger Woods, Ricky Fowler, and Irishman Rory McIlroy. His dream is to meet them. In the meantime, he had the opportunity to practice in Slovenia with Jeff Lawfrey, the coach of Rory McIlroy, the winner of the most prestigious annual tournaments in professional golf. He really liked Timur and says that Timur has great potential to become a great golfer. He even wrote in one letter that Timur is in fact a superstar player and one of the best players he has ever seen as a coach. He insists with great enthusiasm that Timur is very talented and he should continue training day after day. Soon Timur will go to the training camp in Slovenia again. He understands that to become a true professional and to comprehend all the subtleties of the game of golf, he has to practice hard every day. He says that it is only now easy for him to play golf, but the pro players have special booklets in which a break in the action is clearly outlined. They play on a green of specially sheared grass, where there is already a hole and the golf ball rolls and the last strike is already done there, on the green. Players should know all the breaks. This is a professional term used to describe the slopes of the grass. There are different slopes over which it is necessary for the golfer to roll the ball into the hole. In future, our hero also plans to buy such a useful guidebook. After all, he has already taken the first step on the way to professional golfing. This year, he has already been initiated into the singles class. There is such a tradition in golf. When a player finishes with a handicap 9 and 6, 9 and 4, they are thrown into the water at the end of the season. It means that the golfer passes the swearing into the professional level. That is, he is a professional placed in a clean account. Black chips and black launch pads are the most professional in this sport, and they are the longest in length and the most difficult part of the course. Timur this year has already played with a black chip.
Тимур уже в этом году играл с черных ти чистым счетом.
Honestly speaking, golf is not the most fun game to play. It is a very routine sport that requires patience, endurance, logical thinking, good physical fitness, and quite a lot of training time, which means golfers have hardly no time to relax. I don't go to school and I don't have friends at school, but I do have friends there in Kharkiv who also train playing golf. I basically have no time at all to take a break from practicing golf, but I love this sport with all my heart. Despite all these facts, the 13-year-old Kyiv golfer Timur Alalin already knows for sure he will not change his sport for any other one, and he is ready to go to the end for the sake of his dream, namely to play in a professional golf tournament and bring home more than one world trophy.